Hello, everybody, and welcome to Graded Point Live. I am your host. I have Mr. Mike and Mr. Micah, so this will get confusing very quickly.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
so yeah, tonight, it's today. I noticed like I was out of town most of the day. I wasn't going to do a stream because I am dog tired, right? And I noticed that there was a lot of wilding going on the Twitters. Um, I could see there are very very dividing lines happening where people do not want to believe what is right in front of them.
Yup.
And if anybody wants, you can check out Michael Curtis's video on that from earlier.
That was fun.
Yeah, I like the. So I apologize. Well, not a fucking thing.
It's almost kept us what the fuck he wants. I love that clip.
It's a great clip. But yeah, no. I noted, and I'm not going to use names because I don't want people going after them. But we've talked about them behind the scenes a little bit. There are people out there who will, and there is a thing called blind loyalty, and I will say there's people on both sides that happens because it's just a cult of personality and things like that. I'm not going to deny that doesn't happen, right? The problem I'm seeing is when presented with actual evidence that something did happen, people will deny it.
Yeah,
I've fallen for it. I occasionally. It's just sort of.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trick of the mind, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
In that you want to do the whole tribal thing. And you're like, no. My side is completely right. This your side's information is propaganda, and even if it's coming from your own side, it's just like, no, it is a lie. It can't be true.
yeah. Like, well, it's you. I see it more often, more so than anything in politics, because sadly, I made the mistake of starting a politics podcast, and it's actually like sometimes more successful than my entertainment one. But I was because I keep up on these things. I was watching the Daily Wired's Michael Knowles had, as he often does, had kind of a fiery title to his speech at the Young America Foundation. Said just basically taking a stab at abortion people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys probably know who these groypers are, basically the alt-right in new packaging.
Yeah.
And Nick Fuentes, who is 5'4", just like John De La Rose. What's with these like scumbag Jew haters being like tiny,
little tiny manlets?
Yeah. Like come on, guys.
Would you could literally put your fist through their face with no.
Well, I tell them to get on my level, but they need a pair of stilts.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of them comes up and cites this some random statistics from the LA Times, and when basically trying to say that voting is completely and totally based on race. If you are of a certain race, you are going to vote a certain way, which of course is not true. If that were the case, it would be 100% for specific areas all over the place. So the Michael Knowles starts just rattling off these statistics about voting demographics, how they changed over the years from the 1940s to present. And this kid is just shaking his head no as if he is denying reality, despite the fact that the facts are being presented to them. And it's really no different here. Like you said on my timeline last night, I was being perfectly cordial with people because somebody had flat out said that Edwin Boyette had basically done nothing wrong ever and was denying the fact that he went after Kelsey Shannon. He did. What some of us know behind the scenes is that there are 3 people that specifically moved to do damage to Allegiance Arts. One was Edwin, one was Mike. The third person because we don't think that he deserves to be ruined by him being involved in this. We don't name him because it would destroy his career. But needless to say, it's somebody that I didn't expect, and I'm very disappointed in, to say the least.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm disappointed in all three people because I liked all three of them at one point. But
with me. Yeah.
yeah. But the thing is that some people, for some reason, don't want to believe it just because it comes from a certain person's mouth. Like there was one guy who was literally arguing that because I am friendly with Ethan Van Sciver, that I wasn't telling the truth.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, well, if I wasn't friendly with Ethan Van Sciver and I was saying the exact same thing, would that really change what is true and what is not? I never got an answer. You know, it was just more ad hominem, more, deflection, more whataboutism. It's like, no. Like let's be honest about this. Like if you want to come to me with something that Ethan actually did, absolutely. But like I said to that one guy last night, I'm like, all right, you're saying that Ro Kabir equated all Christians to terrorists. That's a pretty extreme statement. I would figure there'd be a clip lying around or something along those lines. So, I'm like, if this really is the case, I will DM Ro about it and I will ask him directly. And I even, tagged Ro in the thread. I actually didn't end up DMing Ro because I was already aware of the fact that he had said that it was the Puritans that he equated to acting like terrorists, not all Christians. Yeah. So, like, I knew exactly what they were talking about, but I played dumb, Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I guess you could call it playing George. But anyway, it's something that I find to be a little hilarious because it's like, if you want to be critical of somebody, by all means, you're welcome to be critical of them. But, you can't just dismiss something as a narrative when there are facts that back it up. And like whenever the term narrative is used politically or in any other form, it means basically a lie, but it's a popular lie. And I'm like, well, if I have evidence that this happened, how is it a narrative? So I don't know. I don't personally get it because it never has made sense to me, Yeah.
I'm just I'm reading through the comments in your video.
The one guy with 9 alt accounts.
Yeah. He was funny. Brian Michael Bendis. I was like, that's credit where it's due. It's original.
And then he had another one named after Quesada. but the fact that the first one is a meme from a certain channel, I'm gonna say a stab in the dark and say, Phil, knock it off, dude. Relax. If it was Phil, if it wasn't Cummings, then feel free to correct me. But he can get to me any way he wants. But it's like if that's you, like, come on, dude, relax.
Like
it's the internet.
Okay, here's one that I want to address just because it says here, this person says, for some reason, to you, I still haven't gotten my Cyberfrog.
Oh, yeah. Somebody commented on there, told him how to get in touch with Ethan to get it. So,
and the guy said, did you order the Ashcan? Nope, don't think so anyway.
You don't think so?
Okay.
So you just threw money to campaign.
Before I tell people, before you make an accusation, go onto your Indiegogo page and see what tier you backed.
Yep.
I mean, I think yes. Does Ethan need to do a backer update? Sure.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying he doesn't. He absolutely does. He needs to be more on top of that. But if you follow him on Twitter, YouTube, he said it on this channel Thursday.
I finally got him on.
Yeah, I did. It was
awesome.
It was great. Xavier was a little upset because he was poor fella. He was what do you call it? He was coming home from work, and he said he literally slid into his driveway as Ethan said, "Well, I got to go."
Oh man, that sucks.
Poor fella. I'll say, was this Mike S. Miller did a AMA on the Reddit page Kotaku in action yesterday. He's yes, and mailing out to be bullies. No, he did not go on KIA. No.
I don't believe that for an instant. Did
Oh,
he really?
I know he made his own Reddit, like subreddit.
Dude, somebody should have told me, like, when it was happening. I would have gone on there as me
Yeah.
and
Ask him all
confronted
the
him. Oh, dude, I would have laid into him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would like since I mentioned lawsuit and you didn't seem to know. Let me share my screen. Surprised you didn't know this. Let's see. Share screen.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I have to do this on a private window since this gentleman has me blocked. Okay.
Oh, well, this is cute.
I've
Oh boy.
Ethan Van Sciver. I've contacted an attorney today. Publicly retract your defamation, or I will pursue legal remedy. I am not involved in any conspiracy. I have never communicated or implied threats to the Brightwisers. Your statements are false, and I believe malicious. Okay.
All right. So,
I can tell you right now.
Hold on. Go down to the images first. I want to read what Ethan exactly said here.
Okay, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Edwin didn't do anything except attempt to belittle and condescend to adults and police language on the internet. He was elevated at my whim, and the opposite is now true.
Okay, so like, and here's the thing. I am not a lawyer. We'd have to get Nick or Kate in here, but I am somebody who at least knows enough to know when something is actionable. That none of that is like that's basically opinion. Again, that would fall under the First Amendment. So no, you can't sue over that.
Yep.
Okay. So in fact, I'll just read these.
Yeah,
Both
sure.
Kelsey and the Brightwisers reached out to me over an organized conspiracy by Edwin and others to punish Kelsey for appearing on a war campaign chat and saying, "But I like pussy," which struck them as making fun of George Alexopoulos by collecting his vulgarism and sending them to Walmart to destroy the Allegiance Arts deal, unless Kelsey publicly apologized. Here's Edwin reacting to the Brightwisers, confronting him on a live stream about this. Read the chat. So that part is true. He went onto that stream with the exact intention of embarrassing Kelsey right then and there.
Yep.
That like everybody who watched it knew it, and he was confronted by Mitch and Betty in the chat. And since then, he has consistently lied about it. You know, and this is the thing, and this is something that Edwin's going to have to think of. And somebody's welcome to clip and send this to him because he has me blocked too because he's a fucking coward. Edwin, aside from the fact, like let me just say this. As somebody who's behind the scenes, we have the receipts. We have the receipts. If you want to go to court, you're not going to win this. We have the receipts.
Yeah.
Because and here's the thing. There are 3 of you involved in this. I would put money on the third man that has not been public about this, flipping on both of you. Because he has a career and a family to think of.
Now, this is the part that got me. I'm going to get a little rant. This is I'm taking off the spirit cuffs for a moment. Okay, this one. I have correspondence from Shannon and Mitch. You notice now he calls him Shannon, not Kelsey.
Yeah,
he's not lovable Kelsey anymore, like he tried to. And I like Kelsey. Remember that in the stream?
Oh, yeah.
I like Kelsey. I like Kelsey. Now it's Shannon.
Yeah.
From Shannon and Mitch that directly demonstrate that your claims are false and you have communicated just a day before an intention to damage my reputation. Retract your statements and apologize, and I'll be satisfied. Okay, first off, I want to point out one thing. Your statements are false, and I believe malicious. If you only believe it, you didn't talk to an attorney.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's, and here's the thing. Like what would he sue for?
Exactly.
Like the tortious interference? Well, you're gonna have to prove that money was lost here.
Yep. And since you're not in the comic book industry, nope.
Yeah. Well, he does have a construction business, or he's a contractor, so he would have to prove
that, yes, he would have to prove that his contracting business was defamed or affected.
Yeah.
By these statements, which
that's the same thing that Ty Beard has to do when it comes to Vic Mignogna.
Right.
So yeah, that one's out. Unless there's something that we don't know about. Maybe there was, somebody Googled Edwin Boyette and saw an Ethan Van Sciver video and saw this guy's a nut job. And but then of course the question is going to be whether or not he actually came, what it was purely Ethan's statements that caused that, and that's going to be very difficult to argue because everything that Ethan did was him responding to Edwin's statement about him.
Yep.
And then, of course, it's also not going to help Edwin that you filed a false DMCA against Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, here's and he doesn't understand this. That is actionable. Ethan could have sued you over that.
And there's something else too. It does, like I said, just go ahead and let it out, Wayne. Okay. I'm going to ask you something. Where is Allegiance Arts based in?
Arkansas, I think.
Where is Walmart based in?
Arkansas. Yeah, I know.
That sounds like that's a case for an Arkansas State Court to do tortious interference, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Edwin, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because here's the other thing. If this were to go to court, one thing that will be a part of it is discovery. And basically to find out whether or not what Ethan is saying is true. Of course, Ethan would put stuff in group chats that I know he's a part of because I am part of a couple of them. He would have to put that out there, which is fine. I don't care. Like put whatever out. Like when it comes to what I say, fuck it. People are gonna think this Micah Curtis guy's a goofball. Oh, well, that's not accurate at all, is it? But Edwin's would have to as well. Because what Ethan would say is that, and this is the other thing where he's dooming the third guy, is Ethan would say there were 3 people involved in this. Edwin Boyette, Mike S. Miller, and
number 3.
Name redacted.
Yeah.
And then all of those things are going to go out there. And then it like that third person and everything and him wanting to be involved in hurting the Allegiance Art deal is going to be public. And that's going to hurt him very badly. Well, it's going to hurt all 3 people, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I don't clearly Edwin has not spoken to an attorney, not at length, with all of the facts.
Because the first thing your attorney asked, what did you do?
Yeah, exactly.
And he said, well, I contacted, shut up.
Yeah.
That's what the attorney would say. I don't want you to say another word.
Yeah. Unless it's Mark Zaid.
Yes.
Mark Zaid is legitimately an idiot, but most lawyers who with any sense will tell you straight out of the gate, shut the fuck up. Do not go public with anything. Do not say anything. Yeah.
Don't go in the crowd and yell, I'm going to sue this guy. Don't do anything.
Exactly. It's like, shut up. I am your representation. I speak for you. If anybody wants to talk to you, they literally have to go through me.
Yep.
As long as they're presented with a letter of representation. Like, I know that because I deal with lawyers all day.
Yeah. So, I remember during when before the lead up to Vic Mignogna's case, Ty, as is, I believe it's standard in Texas state court, but I'm sure sounds like it'd be standard in most, jurisdictions. They have to send a letter to the person, the lawyer does, the attorney for the, who he's representing, and then saying, these are the things you said, do you wish to retract? Yeah. That is to avoid the lawsuit. That is the lawyer's job. Yes, it might cost you $1,500 to do it, but it's just to show that I do have legal representation, and this is what I want from it. Yeah, exactly. Now, you going on Twitter and saying, retract this now. No, fuck you. Literally fix this now. And here's the thing. Edwin Boyette has turned into Mark Wade. And now he's trying to run away from the stigma that he created himself. Because let's say that other people get subpoenaed to testify in regards to Edwin's character. Let's say that I got subpoenaed. Yeah. Edwin would be fucking doomed if I got up there and talked. Because I would say he promoted me willingly next to Vox Day, a noted white nationalist, and John De La Rose. I don't know if he's actually Hispanic, so we'll assume he is for a second. But somebody who has out and out supported a Holocaust denier in Nick Fuentes. And I was very honest about that, and he continued to do so.
against my wishes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which could have damaged my public figure.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, it didn't. I mean, again, less than $75, Edwin. That's how much IndieCron made me.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes right down to it, I look at this and I say to myself, it's like trying to sue over this. Like where's the damage? Where's the tort? Where's the liability?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And it could be argued that in this sphere, right? Because hey, I've been keeping up with the Vic Mignogna case, and I know how the rulings have gone so far, right?
Mhm.
Anybody doesn't know, all of his motions have been dismissed. He's currently going through appeals right now.
Yep.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah.
It could be argued, and I would say effectively, that Edwin is a public figure
Yes.
in the realm of Comicsgate.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well, yeah, he goes onto the internet as himself. He does not use a surname.
Nope.
I'm sorry, he doesn't use a pseudonym.
yeah,
You know, it's the same thing with me. I don't use a pseudonym either. Micah Curtis is on my birth certificate and on my driver's license.
right.
You know.
So yeah, that's the thing. It's like Edwin would be considered a public figure, limited. I'm not saying he's like Ariana Grande or something like that, right? I'm
Yeah.
just saying in the realm of this, it is that. Now, all it would take, honestly, in the court is for an attorney to just play that live stream.
Yeah.
And hey, Edwin, don't try to delete it. We all have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was about to say I've got a backup of it now.
I do too, because I needed it for some clips.
It took me forever to find a place to download it, though. Like live streams are very hard to get off YouTube. I will admit that. But
yeah, I got it at, what was it? Shoot, it's an attachment for Firefox. I use Firefox, so
oh well, that's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even like touch Firefox. So
yeah, it might. Or do you use Chrome or?
yeah, I'm a Chrome guy.
It should have one for Chrome, but
I'll have to look into it.
yeah, it's very handy. Like how like when you go to a channel, it'll say like subscribe and join. Because it says memberships.
Yeah.
And then on this one, it'll create another button. It'll say download.
Oh, nice.
And then you click on it. It'll give you want to download it at like 360p or at the highest quality.
Nice.
So
yeah, I'll have to look into that. But yeah, in this particular case, I just think to myself, like what on earth do you think is like what you're going to be able to do here? Like there's because think of it this way. I've been in similar situations, like well, even last night there were accusations thrown toward me that obviously weren't true. But
yeah,
I
whose
can't
water are
steal
you
over
holding for Channel Awesome, by the way?
yeah, well, yeah, I still want to know that.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, like, the only people I worked with that were content creators directly, like, I worked under Joe. I was friendly with Juwario, Zeitgeist Review, and Lord Cat.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord Cat quit halfway through Blistered Thumbs for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So 3 people. And then after I left Blistered Thumbs, I haven't appeared on a Lord Cat stream since. I haven't talked to Joe. Like, we haven't had any more than like Twitter spats since, and it's been 8 years.
Yeah. So whose water are you holding?
I know. Like that's what I really don't understand. It's like and he's like, oh, everyone. What do you mean everyone? I didn't interact with everybody.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people I just knew through reputation or like little.
Mm-hmm.
Again, little Twitter back and forth. Like that was about it.
I mean, I don't see you holding anybody's water. I mean, that's the thing. If anything, you've been saying, yeah, they were a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm not even friendly with anybody from there anymore. Like, are you serious?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, every time I've seen you interact, I think, I can't remember. I want to say you did a stream. You were either on a stream with somebody. I can't remember quite, but you were talking.
The last Channel Awesome person I was on a stream with was Iron Liz.
There you go. Yeah, that's what y'all were discussing.
Yeah, it was me, her, Yellow Flash, and somebody else on Nick Ricada's channel.
That's what it was. Yeah.
And Nick wanted me on there because I had worked for them at one point. So, and
right.
I admittedly couldn't add that much because I only knew of Kalen like through reputation.
Right.
Like I was supposed to be J-Dub wanted to introduce me to a lot of personalities, and we just didn't have the time. So, but yeah. But yeah, it's like
holding all that water though.
oh yeah, I know, right? So like the only person that you could maybe make that about was Angry Joe, but he and I just got along really well. Like we had similar backstories, and well, I'm not Puerto Rican, but we clicked, and I was a big part of helping him get Blistered Thumbs up and running. So, like, I guess, but yeah, but like that's an accusation. And that would, if somebody were to just see that out of context, they could form an opinion about me that is negative.
Right.
Or maybe not. It really depends.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't sue over that. Like there's no evidence that it did any damage to my brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just somebody making a wild accusation.
Yeah. So going into a case like this, from my little law knowledge, again, I only know this stuff because I work in insurance, and in insurance, you do have to know it, especially automotive, because there's a lot of law, because there is clear liability in a lot of cases. Lawyers get involved a lot. So you kind of get sort of the ins and outs about how cases are going to go and important information and yada, yada, yada. Plus, I've had fraud training, or fraud prevention. So you learn some of this stuff there too. But, the big thing whenever it comes to like any sort of claim like this civil claim is liability. Who is liable for the action? And you have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that that someone is liable. So in this particular case, the intermediary is going to be the judge. So the judge looks at this particular case, and I'll admit I have bias in this, so people can take this at what they will. If I'm looking at this particular case, what I'm seeing is a spat over the internet over what could have happened, basically. And that's one thing I will admit. A lot of us are pissed off on what could have happened.
Yeah.
Here's, and this is my perspective on it. They failed miserably. Allegiance Arts is going forward. They're going to have a lot of success. I have no doubt.
And Kelsey is way more popular than he was.
Yes. Kelsey is also, he's super talented.
And
he's super talented. Mitch and Betty are super talented.
Yep. That whole team.
Eric Weathers is awesome. I love Eric. He's working with me on Inglewood now, and he'll be working with me on 3 nights. Well, basically all my projects going forward. He's like, he basically said, if you have Preston doing your art, Preston Acevedo, I want on it. I'm like, absolutely. So, but yeah, Eric's amazing. They had Kevin Graveau, for God's sake. The creator of freaking Underworld. Yeah. And has like the most awesome baritone voice ever.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I actually, when I was married, like my ex was like eerily into vampire stuff. And I mean like, and like actual vampires, not like Twilight shit. Like she liked the bitey, bloody shit. And she loved the Underworld. And I actually had to tell her, it's like, no, Kevin Graveau's voice in that film is not being distorted. That's actually how he sounds. Yeah.
But yeah, that whole,
but they failed. That's generally my point.
And like I said, Edwin, stop.
Yeah. If he were just admit that he did something wrong, this would be over tomorrow.
Because there's like you said, we already know he falsely did a false DMCA, right?
Yeah.
And he can't just say, well, I felt. No, you can't say you felt. You knew that was fair use.
Yeah, exactly.
You knew that was fair use. If somebody makes a video about me or about Micah Curtis or about Evil Bob, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm the next target of the comic book hut. He has apparently said as much. So he will probably do something like that. I'm not going to DMC him. I'm going to do a response video and laugh my ass off.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I want to see something.
Because, and this is Clint, if you're listening, this is not an offense to you, but I am, and Optimus has followed my stuff for a while. I am not with one. I am not a person with whom to fuck with. No. Like that is not something that people do, and they don't get eviscerated whenever it comes to my responses. You remember I know you were reading Tech Raptor when the whole when Brianna Wu went after me.
Yeah, I was. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, and she did not look
good.
good.
Let me say, fuck you, Rutledge.
Yeah, fuck you, Rutledge. But needless to say, I made Zoe Quinn and Brianna Wu look like idiots with one article. Like it wasn't hard. Like these sorts of things for me are just, it's Tuesday. Because I was talking to him yesterday. He was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry they're trying to ruin your weekend." I'm like, "Dude, I think this is hilarious." Like, are you kidding me? Like, I know exactly what they're doing. And I know I've been around the block before with this sort of thing. It's you let them be as nasty and angry as they are. Don't sink to their level. Just let them get pissy, and they will expose themselves for the type of people that they are. And it's the same thing with Edwin here. He's exposing the type of person that he is.
Mm-hmm.
He would rather sue you or threaten to sue you over a lie than tell the truth and admit he was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I find very interesting.
Yeah. And that's what, speaking of Kelsey, that was another thing in which I pointed out to you. And this is one of the people that I said, will not name by name. But, yesterday I pointed out to you that the fool didn't Kelsey go after this person.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm thinking,
oh God. Yeah.
Like
I had a conversation about that with said person. And I'm like, if this goes public, he's done.
Yeah.
Like, and basically the person I was having a conversation with, like, she doesn't believe me, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have access to the DMs that have been seen or the information that others have seen. I'll admit it is secondhand info for what I have, but I trust the people who are telling me this.
Yeah.
So take it for what you will.
I'm going to tell you something. That this is my feeling. I don't have proof, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the narrative they're going with.
Yeah.
I have this feeling that they're going to try to turn it around. All because of I've seen a clip, and I don't know the context of it, but there was a clip on a live stream where Kelsey said, "Fuck X person."
Yeah.
And I don't know what the context was. I've just seen it,
Yeah. And that's generally the problem. I've seen the clip too without context. I want to know where it's from.
Yeah.
So I can see what the context is, because it could have been a joke. It could have just been them dicking around, or maybe they genuinely don't like one another. Again, if you don't like someone, that is not an excuse to try to destroy them. And I will say this right now. There are a couple people that behind the scenes in Comicsgate hate my fucking guts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like they can be mad about whatever the hell they want to be mad about. Like, one of them is mad at me over nothing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And well, now he's not even Comicsgate. So I'll just be honest about who it is. It's Captain Cummings.
Yeah.
He fucking hates me. I don't like him either.
Yeah.
I think he's a scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I thought he was just misdirected. Then he starts showing up on John De La Rosa's streams.
Yeah.
Now you're hanging out with doxers. Now you're hanging out with anti-Semites. You're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
And then the other person, I won't name, but Optimus knows who I'm talking about.
We talked about it the other night.
Yeah, he hates my guts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a good reason, because I threw some insults his way that I shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And I did cross a line with that. And I've apologized to him more than once to try to get things to calm down. Hopefully, if nothing else, he's that'll be the end of it. But can
we at least have an armistice, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like just a ceasefire. For the good of the cause.
Mm-hmm.
And with Phil, like him hating my guts, I don't care.
Right.
Like he can be angry in his little corner of the internet as long as he wants. He can he can rant and rave and be angry and whatever. So what? He's never going to do anything actionable against me. And if he did, it's his ass, not mine.
Right.
Like let's say, and I'm not saying that this is something Captain Cummings would do, but let's say he did. Let's say he doxed me, including my workplace, and Toady and crew swarm the company I work for with phone calls, and then I get fired. because they're claiming things about me that aren't true. Let's say they fire me at a Reflex. What have they just done? They've made me a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's part of the reason why it's like I tell people, it's like, I don't take this, like, you make me a martyr, you know, and you are a name.
Yep.
That's actionable. I can take you to court. I could open a GoFundMe tomorrow and my legal fees would be funded.
Yep.
You know, it's like let's not play that game here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, you know, I have friends like everybody does, but I legitimately, and it's taken me forever to realize, I legitimately have people in my life who really care about me and who would help me and who would contact people who can help me, you know, like that. So when it comes right down to it, you know, that is a good thing to have in life.
Yes.
And but if that happened, of course, you know, that does not make them look good. You know, if they go to that level, if they sink to that degree, people will say they will say the exact same thing I'm saying. You know, you're a scumbag, and we're gonna fight against you now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if Edwin was really to think that Ethan was this bad of a person, you know, he there would be something actually actionable here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not. You know, I feel like we're kind of looping back around. But you know, what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you couldn't handle the criticisms of Ethan Van Sciver, and so you filed a false copyright claim against his video.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what you did. YouTube even said this is bogus.
Yeah.
And let me say that this is YouTube. This is the website that has pulled down videos because of similar claims without an investigation. They're not very good at monitoring this. So if the company that is not very good at monitoring this tells you you're full of shit, you're full of shit.
When it didn't even get to the point of a strike or a takedown or anything.
Yeah.
And they were saying, no, this is fair use. That boggles my mind, because usually they err on the side, just take it down.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and that really bombed me when it said, like, when, you know, Ethan got that email and showed it and said, we found that this was not a violation. They're like, what?
Yeah, I know. I was shocked too. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I used to be buddies with Monday Matt, and that's how Monday Matt made his fucking name, was Zoe Quinn filing a false DMCA against him because she couldn't take the criticism.
Oh, you have no idea. We have a running joke in my Discord, not the graded, but another one, where we said, why couldn't Zoe Quinn DMC at anybody else?
Literally anyone else.
Anybody else.
Right?
We would have never known who Matt was.
Trust me, I regret it more than anybody else. I don't even know if I've told that story.
Well, you can tell that in just a second. I want to.
Well, I know that Matt went after Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah, I saw that. And what's funny is, I said, dude, why are you going to?
That's a really bad fight to pick, man.
Jeremy will destroy him utterly. But
more than anything, it's the fact that Matt is probably at his lowest in regards to public opinion of him, and Jeremy is probably at his highest.
Yeah. I just want to address something from A Brown CBR. Was it Pocket Jack? No. This would be somebody who actually has influence.
Yeah, this is somebody that he's been around for a while, and it's not somebody that is like an Ethan hater. That's what made it shocking. Like, it's a guy who is still on good terms with Ethan.
Yeah,
that's what. Then let me tell you like this right now. If it was anybody who you think hates Ethan, you would have already known about it.
Yeah.
If it was Preston Poulter, everybody would be rubbing his fucking face in it.
Yeah. This is what's going on is an attempt to add the de-escalation, essentially.
Yeah. I'll just say this when it comes to the Comicsgate, like, I guess, names, quote unquote. We don't want anybody's life to be destroyed over this. All we literally want them to do is just be honest about it. Just fess up. Just say you fucked up, man. Like, it's not hard. Like, everybody fucks up on occasion. Like, I've admitted my own here on the stream.
Yeah. You don't even have to do it just do it in private. Go to the people you hurt and say, yeah, I did something really dumb, and I have to apologize for that. That's all. Yeah. And it's over. It's over. But as it is, like your site, like you explained it to me the other night, it's kind of a Cold War situation now.
Yeah, it really
You know,
is. I mean,
um,
it's a war of words. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's like we know, and you know, and if you do, then we do, kind
Yeah.
of thing. You know,
another thing to say about this too, Mike and Edwin do not have the money to go on to a legal war.
no, not when Mike's funding his books with his funding his shipping with his previous or with his newest shipping. So
Yeah, where's everybody's shark book, asshole?
oh, I got it now. After you launched another campaign to
To fund it.
yeah.
Well, how you going to get that second printing of Lone Star out there, man?
Yeah, kind of low,
Like,
isn't it?
Yeah, like I don't think he's even has he passed Inglewood yet? Because he should have with
He
his
should
name.
have. I
Like,
mean,
and that's the thing. Like,
That's
that's
the
not downing my art team. I'm nobody, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Ooh, I'm at 12,404.
Lone Star Indigo.
I'm 3 away from 500 backers. That's awesome.
Nice. Okay, second print. Let's see where he's at now. 12,420.
So he's beating me by $16.
Yeah, and he's got 14 days left. If this
That
if
should
this
have
had
at least been 20,000.
yeah, if this had been Mike at a year ago, this would be $50,000-$60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Easy,
Absolutely.
easy.
And
Especially
well
with all
deserved.
the-
I will say this about Mike. He's a very talented artist.
Yeah, especially with all the covers and stuff that he's going to have with it.
Yeah.
It like I said, that should be easy money, easy. Like I said, I don't want to weigh too much with that as far as like future success because it is a second printing, right?
Yeah.
I kind of agree with what somebody said on a stream the other night. Let's see what happens when Lone Star 3 comes out.
Yeah, that is generally the question.
Yeah, let's see what happens when Lone Star 3 comes out. If that tanks, then we know.
Oh yeah.
And, yeah. But I'll put it this way. For a dying movement, quote unquote, and for a guy who launches his campaigns at midnight and doesn't tell anybody he did it.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I want to get the right number.
Yeah.
Here.
Your boy is at 38,361.
Yeah, and remember, this is a dying movement.
Yeah, I know, right?
And he's only been doing it for 3 days.
I know, and it's the less popular of his 2 books too, so it's not going to make as much.
Yeah,
but I'm just going to say it's like to my buddy Carl O'Rowe. Carl knows I love him, but man, you need to like thank the gods that everybody fucking loves Death Sworn. That book is going to probably when he ships is probably going to be at 40K, I would think.
Yeah.
And that's his first. Like that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Though I will admit, John Malin gave me some phenomenal feedback on how I should have done Inglewood. He's like, people would have backed this book for $5 more. And that's true. So like if I had, how many backers do I have? Like 497. Yeah. If they had, like I had upped it like $5 a copy, then I'd be sitting at like 15K right now instead, which means I would actually make money off of it.
Yeah.
By the like, you want to shame Hatman?
Yeah.
I love Hatman.
Hatman every time.
Hatman is like my little brother at this point, but like he'll admit this is he undercalculated the shipping on this.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't include the packaging in the costs. So all of the profits that I was going to make off this fucking comic are going into fucking mailers.
Well, Alex.
It's okay. Like it's honestly, I should have thought of it too.
Yeah.
So I'm just ribbing him because I love him and we rib each other all the fucking time. And he got me with the Jawa thing. So I'm getting back with him now.
Yeah, I had to make. If you noticed, I had to make that a emoji on the graded.
Did you see my follow-up video on that? By the way.
Yes, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that character of M. Micah Michelson. I liked doing it a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oddly enough, like compared to the Dragon Maid video I did, like there were no bloopers on this one. Like I did that all just off the cuff. I didn't even script it.
Mm-hmm.
There was some editing to do because I stammered a couple times, but that was about it. Like,
sorry, I was reading this chat. Michael Beacon Well, put it in here.
Get George to print me some money.
Yeah. Well, first it was Pocket Pussy can hardly get a degenerate pushing around his sex doll to pose with his comics. He's not an influencer.
Yeah, exactly. Like
And of course,
nobody really cares about Preston Poulter.
Nope.
He is a walking meme.
Yep.
You know, like we think he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's good for a laugh. That's really all he is. It's like he says some dumb, outrageous shit, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and not to mention, I have a feeling that like a ton of his the Kiwi Farm stuff that he puts up on his Twitter are his posts.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're like I've heard from people they're getting sick of him because he all he does is talk about Ethan.
Oh, trust me, I can guarantee you, if he is doing it, the Kiwis already know.
Yeah.
Because I saw, I think it was during the Vic stuff. Like there was this guy who kept, posting shit and this and that and the other, and the guy went and changed the head mod changed his name to Shane Holmberg, right? Yeah. He's like, they said, "Why'd you change?" He said, "Because it's Shane."
Yeah.
He's trying to like pretend he's not, but it's him.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Of course, Shane got, "You doxed me." He said, "No, I didn't dox you. I just looked at IP addresses, you idiot."
Yeah, exactly.
The next time use a VPN, you dumb fucker.
Yeah. So when it comes right down to it, like I look at like the situations like this, and I just say to myself, like, what on earth do you guys even think you're doing at this point? Like, I really don't get it. And what really tickles me is like this is all over comic books, like. Yeah. And on even more so, this is like over George Alexopoulos. Is that really the hill you want to die on?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like when I tell this is.
Can you imagine George Alexopoulos on the stand in a lawsuit? Are you like cross-examination? He'd be like he looked like an idiot talking to Adam Friend, and Adam was throwing him softballs.
Yeah.
Like, and I like Adam. I respect him, but like you've got to be fucking kidding me, dude.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was like shitting his pants. With those like just softball questions.
He looked worse than No Bullshit did when he was recently on Friended and PSA Stitch's stream.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's bad because No Bullshit is like No Bullshit is like historically somebody who like just throws insults and backs away and dodges questions because he's an asshole. He's a piece of shit, Mm-hmm. But yeah, George was even worse.
Well. It's like that. Okay, I'm going to say this statement because I know things. You know how George always says, well, 11 people told me X. And if 11 people say X, it must be true, right? Hey, George, I have at least so far counting 15 people who dispute your claim. So if that's the case, then I'm more right than you are.
There you go.
If the weight is like I've heard the same story 11 times, well, I've heard the same story about you 15.
Yeah.
So far.
Well, like, and that's the thing. It's like so 11 people can't lie to you.
Yeah. And also and because come on, George. That narrative, the narrative that Ethan runs War Campaign has been going around before you got here.
Yeah. Not to mention not true. Been in War Campaigns chats.
Yeah. I mean, hell, EVS barely knows how to use Discord, from what I understand.
Yeah,
I've seen I saw him in one. I think I'm in a mutual in one. He's never logged in. So
yep.
Because he's probably like, I don't know how this works.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of why one of the reasons I did switch to the StreamYard. It's easy. Just here's a link. Come on in.
Yep. And
I can still do the things I need to do. I might, if I start making some more money on the channel and stuff, I'll probably upgrade. Get the because that upgrade does seem nice. But for right now, I'll work with the duck. The duck is fine. But no, but yeah, that whole thing is like George. It's like, dude, I've talked to people who were in that quote tribunal, right? You were the aggressor, and I trust these people who told me. Absolutely.
And not 100%. To mention, it's still something that you can find on War Campaign's channel.
Right. And then on top of that whole, I told Ethan this the other night, that whole thing where he claims that I was driven off Reddit. I looked it up. I looked it up. I said, I'm curious. Okay, now that we know what we know about George, right? Now that we know what we know, let's see what really happened. He wasn't ran off, and all the people were saying was because he said, I had the #1 trending comic, and then the next day I had the #1 trending comic, and the next day they turned on me. No, all they were saying is like, dude, you're running this joke into the fucking ground because he did the same joke 3 days in a row. That was it. I mean, it was just a few probably, and I will say it was a few thousand people, but it wasn't like, oh, you're a conservative. Blah, blah, blah. No, they said, dude, you suck.
Yeah.
That was it. That was him getting run off. Speaking of which, did you kind of round back out to Smiller and Methwin? So I told you earlier that they opened their own little subreddit.
Yes.
Apparently, Mike got banned off of our comic books.
What?
Yeah, because he was self-promoting.
That's hilarious.
Now here's the new gimmick, Micah. Here's what they're gone with now, and I've got this on video. The gimmick now is okay. Besides current, what was Ethan Van Sciver known for? Obviously, Green Lantern, Flash,
Yes.
and of course, some of the Batman work, right?
Yeah.
To a lesser extent, what is Mike S. Miller known for? Injustice.
Yes.
The gimmick now is to push that Injustice was a highly sought after comic. Got Mike going now.
Well, that begs the question.
Yeah, because
we got we can get the receipts on that too.
Well, I looked on Comic-Con.
Okay.
And I went from first issue, and in rounding off because it was like a 4-year run, right? Yeah. Which, and when you think about it, that's actually really good these days.
Oh, absolutely. It sold well enough to keep going.
Yeah, I would say it rounded out to about 15 to 20,000 a month.
Yeah, that's not big sales.
Yeah, but to hear
that's
Eddie B,
that's about Miss Marvel.
Yeah, but to hear Eddie B talk about it, that was highly successful, Mike. That was really good, Mike. And
the art was good, but no, It was not. And apparently, it was a good comic, but no, not that sought after. Ethan, when did Green Lantern Rebirth come out?
2005, 6.
Well, let me have a look.
Yeah.
So because Comic-Con goes back that far.
Yeah.
So let's find out.
And on top of that, the big thing with the whole injustice argument, there was this video game that came out.
Yeah, exactly.
That was made by the guys who created Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. December of 2004 is what we're looking for. So
yeah, pull it. I've gotten really good at like search. Rebirth. No. Rebirth. No. Rebirth was the event.
Yes.
That's DC Rebirth. Green Lantern Rebirth is a different.
So on first printing, Green Lantern Rebirth in December was the number 7 book, the issue 1, and it sold 106,000 copies. Or shipped 106,000.
Yeah.
So let's go to January of the next year because you want to look at issue 2.
Yeah,
because that's the real
that's the fall off.
Yeah, that's the real successor. So. So that's issue 1. That's weird. Oh, that must have been reprints. I'm curious about this.
Wasn't Injustice just a tie-in for some lame NetherRealm Studios?
This is December through May, so that's not right. So, there might not have been numbers for January. Sometimes there aren't. So,
yeah, it's plus I think that
book so the next issue shipped at over around 29,000.
Yeah. Okay. So leveled off.
So there was a drop off.
Yeah.
But Green Lantern wasn't that popular.
Right. This is literally the resurgence of Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Right.
So he let it be known that it wasn't the biggest book ever, but it was also very critically acclaimed. But yeah, it did more per month than what Mike's did.
So let's look at looking into the balance of it. The run that reignited Green Lantern versus.
And even here's the thing: like going a year later,
Mhm.
when Ethan was doing the book again, like it started like it came back up in sales. It was selling around 80,000, and it was constantly in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the artist would rotate between Ivan Race and Ethan.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ethan like is a mover.
Yeah.
More so than Mike is.
Yeah. But like I said, culturally, just from the culturally as it comes to comic books, the book that reignited Green Lantern versus an alternate reality.
Yeah.
About evil superheroes. Chalk it up to Elseworlds and move on. That's it. You know what I mean? Like it's not Kingdom Come. You know what I mean?
It didn't have the same kind of impact in the comics that it did in the video games, and it was purely a supplemental story anyway.
Yeah, it was just like basically telling how we led up to this point. Yes, does Mike Miller have one of the most iconic, images from that series? Absolutely. That whole, Batman putting his fist through Joker's, torso. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And like you said, Mike's a good artist. I'm not taking nothing away from Mike's a good artist. He's a horrible businessman. He's an absolute idiot.
Yeah, he's atrocious as a business. He needs a manager.
Well, I think Eddie B is trying to be his manager.
He needs a good manager.
Grandma's here. No, that's Mike's grandma. Oh man, but yeah, no, I don't know. Since we're talking about this, I know
that's interesting. I didn't know that he apparently was a penciler on a couple of issues of the StarCraft comic.
Oh yeah,
interesting.
Huh.
Okay, no wonder he's such a game guy.
Yeah, and I know he did G.I. Joe versus Transformers for I think that was IDW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was a good run. I'm not, because I remember it. And what's really sad is I didn't know he did it until like last year.
Yeah, another one he did was Batman Arkham Unhinged, which was again another tie-in book to a video game.
Yeah, he needs somebody to keep money away from him. That's pretty much. It's like he needs a business manager. He
really does. Like it's bad. Like and like Edwin is the dumbest. Like I couldn't think of a worse manager at this point than Edwin because he listens to all the wrong people for the dumbest reasons. Obviously I don't have a high opinion of Edwin. Like I have an even lower opinion of his intelligence. Like it's just not there. He makes goofy business decisions all the time. And I'll say this right now. Hatman might as well be my manager, and he constantly has me on a leash, and I'll admit it. Because I tend to fly off at the mouth too. Like I was joking around with some guys. They're like, basically they're doing what they're doing to you to try to get you to shut up. I'm like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So the like if Mike had a manager from the get-go had said, hey, I don't want you to get involved in this. I want you to just keep me on the straight and narrow with my career. Here's 10% of my profits. And he did that, then none of these problems would have happened.
No. Like if it's like I said, I know this is just me. I just heard it the other night. If it's true that Mike did the whole, the 3-pack to pay for shipping for Lone Star, and then in reverse, he's used Lone Star 2 profits to try to get the Meg shipped. And then we're basically doing a over and over and under constantly.
Yeah.
And like I said, now, okay, Micah, let me ask you a question. You are 6 months behind on your mortgage. You're saying in pretend land, right? Yeah. You get an opportunity thanks to a connection to get a independent comic book funded, and on your first go round, let's say even before he finished it, like on the first go round, you end up with $90-some thousand. Okay, you are able to since you're the writer and you're the and the artist, so your overhead is not that much except for printing and shipping and of course coloring. right?
Yeah.
And of course, and lettering and all that good stuff. So that gives you a lot of money to get yourself caught up.
Oh yeah.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've been in that situation before where I've got behind on bills. When I had the opportunity to pay them off, do you think I ever tried to get back in debt again?
No.
Would you?
No, because I've been there too.
Yeah.
And
It's
like heck, right now, because I was sick all last week, I'm very behind on a few things. So like I'm,
Mhm.
you know,
So,
I know the situation. Like and sometimes it sucks. You got to sell stuff you don't want to sell and all this other shit. Like it blows.
I mean, that's like, it just doesn't, I just don't get it. It's like, well, I need I need to ship Lone Star now. I don't have the money for some reason. Why don't you have the money, Mike? I don't, it doesn't matter. I can put that on a credit card. Oh shit. Now I got to pay the credit card. I'm going to launch another campaign and pay the credit card off.
Yeah. It's a cycle. He's just,
I knew there was something bugging me about that Meg, that 3-pack when he said, I need to get Christmas for my kids. I'm like, you just had $106,000 campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need money for your kids? If I had got that much money, and like I said, I don't know. I'm going to say, let's pretend on the high end, it was $50,000 for him to fulfill. Right.
Yeah.
So that's what, 60,000 roughly that he would have. That's not only am I going to use that, it's like, okay, I'll get, take care of the kids' Christmas and stuff. I am paying on my house ahead. It might not pay it off, but I'm going to get at least, like 3 or 4 years ahead.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I'm never going to be in the situation where I'm late again, like, and I'm definitely not using a damn credit card. I think, this guy, I forgot his name. He's some not economic, but more of a, one of those guys that, help people try to get out of debt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he goes like, ask me what my credit rating is. They said, what's your credit rating? He went 0. He's like, why? He said, because I don't have any credit. He said, after I paid him off, I just got rid of it. Well, if you can make millions, then yeah, why wouldn't you be? Why would you want, that kind of stuff?
Exactly.
And I'm not saying but it's practicalities, man. It's practicalities. Be practical. Let's see. Let's move this here. I think Mike's problem is he thinks he's a lot smarter than he is. True.
Yes.
True. Mike thinks he's a genius, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. You listened to the stream he did with Friended, and he didn't look good either because he's acting like he's some sort of master troll comparing himself to Donald Trump. And he's getting laughed at, and it's like, dude, like, no, you're not that smart. If you were smart, you wouldn't be getting in these situations.
Yeah, it's in my upcoming video, I have a section where I point to a tweet where he compares dildo memes, getting dildos pasted onto photos of people. He compared that to basically being blacklisted by SJWs.
Yeah.
And I made a point. I said, ladies and gentlemen, Mike S. Miller just came on the internet in 2019. Because if anybody's been around the 4chan or, even before that, bulletin boards and stuff like that, if getting a dick drawn on you was like a sign of honor. Mm-hmm. That means they actually gave a shit about you. Good or bad, they gave a shit. Mike's problem is he lives in California. I'm not going to say that's not the problem.
Well, my thing is that I think back to the Gamergate days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, we had to deal with Baphomet.
Yeah.
Those guys were pricks back in the day. Holy crap.
Dude, they were crazy. Like they would dox, like you could go on to Baphomet at any point in time and you would find somebody's personal information just sitting there.
For no reason, just because.
Yeah, they just did it to do it, to show that they could.
I saw it like when it was happening. It was like, well, we found this guy's information.
Yep.
And it's like, well, why? Why not?
Pretty much.
Okay. I mean, and like I said, it wasn't even to fuck with them. They just wanted to do it.
Yeah. There were third-party trolls all over the place that did that, just to screw with people. Mm-hmm. And they would do it in really, really nasty ways.
Like the Wagner crew.
Yeah. Plus
remember those guys?
The Wagners? Yeah, the Wagners. They were. I remember they posted like for example, Hatman's information, like just right there on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
They
Like-
did Sargon of Akkad's information, which is how I sent him a bunch of cutlery.
Yeah, Mike was nice, and because they said something like they sent me a knife, so Mike sent Mike sent Sargon a nice set of knives
Yeah.
from Amazon. It was kind of funny because there's a video. It's on Sargon's main channel.
Oh, I remember. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny because he said "Evil Bob the All Might."
Yeah. It was one of those things where I remember when Milo got sent 2 dead rats,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple syringes with a strange fluid in them.
Yep.
Like I remember King of Pole got like ambulances called to his house at 1 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Like
like
stuff like that. Like that sort of stuff's not even happening. Like Edwin did get swatted, but I would, if I were to put money on that, given the way things were going at the time, I would probably say that was a leftist who did that, or one of the lefty comic people.
it was a day after, or just a night after he had gone to Hawaii Con.
Yeah.
Wearing a Comic Skate nightstand with Vic shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, that shouldn't surprise anyone. In the same way that the day after Tug gets doxxed by Renfamous,
mhm.
his mailbox gets smashed.
Yeah.
Now
no,
it could
he
have
did
just
that
been some
himself,
street
remember?
punks, I'll admit that. But my money would be on somebody else,
Yeah. But,
but it's my general thought is if that's the worst, it's not been that bad in comparison. It's obviously all bad, but I've seen worse, and that's part of the reason why I personally just have such a nonchalant attitude towards all of this. It's like somebody tells me, it's like, I got doxxed. Yep, that's gonna happen.
mhm.
People will do that to you.
Yeah, it sucks, but it happens.
Yeah, so be
And
prepared.
like I said, I'm not downplaying it, but
don't open any packages that you don't know where they came from. If something shows up at your door and you don't know what it is, call the cops.
well, it's and-
there's ways to deal with it. And
I think what bugs me is the false accusations of doxing, right?
yeah, that's what really gets me, because you do not want to cry wolf about that sort of thing.
Like when Doug Tenapel said the other day, somebody sent somebody a dildo. I'm like,
Who?
exactly, who sent it and who got it sent to?
Yeah, where's the return
Because
address?
Micah, that these people, these loonies,
Show me the receipts.
well, they would be posting that all over the place if it actually happened.
Yeah, exactly, because it'd be hilarious. But no, the show me the receipts. Show me some sort of wrongdoing. Show me the evidence, and then we'll go from there. And if you refuse to show it, I do wonder if you're just telling me something you heard from somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Well, remember, manly men.
Oh, of course.
Listen, manly men, they don't. I can't even
Edwin
get through it.
and Mike Miller are manly men.
I fucking lost it.
Oh, you want to hold on? I'm going to show you this edit I did. Let me share my screen. Because this is going in the video, by the way.
Remember to turn on your audio boomer.
Oh yeah, I got it. I got you, fam. So now we got the infinite loop. Whoa. Let me go. Now you're going to see my D file.
Oh no.
Now I got to remember what I called it. Ugh, this happens. You're going to see some. I make it. This whole thing is about a.
Gizmo singing.
I needed that for you showed that clip on Ethan's stream. The you know which one I'm talking about.
People got pissed at me for that too. Like, the chicken's been dead for a while, you idiots.
Yeah. Gizmo's just worried about what's going to happen to him next. He's seeing Smiller up here. He's like, I don't know about this. Let's see. Is it that one? No. I should have named these better. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, this is all stuff I'm pulling together for a video. It's almost done. It should be out tomorrow. I just like I said, I was traveling today. It would have been done today. Well, okay. Well, I'll show you this first because this one's funny. No, that's not it. That's right. I don't want to pull up anything that I didn't. Oh wait, before we go on, how about this? The slaughter of innocent Jawas.
I want pictures of that damn Mandalorian. I will pay good money.
Yeah, you're paying good money. What? How many? 1 million credits for?
Yes,
Yeah.
which is totally not given to me by Jabba the Hutt for spice.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Would never do that. Where's this at? God, nice. Yes, I did a lot of reaction shots. If you ain't noticed. This is it. Okay, just to tell the story. This starts off with a tweet that somebody sent to Mike, talking about how awesome, how much fun Edwin and Doug and Mike are having, and how the other side doesn't have fun. Right? They're just joyless. Like you guys are joyless, right?
Yeah.
So,
And I can't remember when I
hold on, let me set this back. Turn the volume up. Okay, that's good right there. All right, you ready?
Go for it.
Full screen. Play.
Truth. And I can't remember when I've seen the other side genuinely happy like this.
Yeah, boy, this guy really looks like he's enjoying himself. But you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe people on, quote, this side have not been enjoying themselves. Let's take a look, shall we?
Yeah.
So the real key is that Edwin and Mike Miller are manly men.
We're mid.
Because Cecil and I lost it. What?
We are men, manly men.
Wow.
We are men, manly men.
Wow.
We are men, manly men.
Oh,
We
wow.
are men, manly men.
Oh, yeah. That was
That was fun.
yeah, like and I had a pretty good beard at the time too. I lopped it off again because I trimmed it wrong one day.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Like,
Yes. Well, thankfully, I like to think I have a good base, and then if I need to grow more, I always can. So
yeah. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, there's one other one that I think. Where's it at? Oh yeah, we found out. When we found out Doug doesn't love Edwin.
Oh yes, that was hilarious.
All right, I think this is the one. Mike saw this one earlier.
Guy named Edwin Boyette. He's just a regular guy, and really, it's not that I'm not in love with him or anything. He's
Oh, that was the wrong one. That was the original. He's like, oh, I don't love him or anything. So here's the edit. Let's find out what Dougie T really thinks about Mr. Edwin Boyette.
a guy named Edwin Boyette. He's just a regular guy, and really, it's not that I'm not in love with him or anything. He's
Oh God.
Edwin has always looked so sad. Wow, that's really freaking sad. Geez. Sorry, Edwin.
You got friend zoned.
Oh, that's pathetic. Oh yeah, and of course this one. I got to show this one, Michael. I think you'll like this one.
Oh, I've seen that one before.
Oh yeah, you've seen this one. Well, I'll show
Yeah.
it for everybody. Here you go.
Cocainum.
Thank you, JonTron, for that clip you did years ago.
Yes. What the fuck is a Sonic?
I love that one.
That's my favorite John video ever, and
Yeah,
it's not
he-
even on his channel anymore.
Yeah,
You
he
have to
took
find
it
mirrors
down.
of it.
Yeah, he took it down. Now it's on like some archive channel, which is fine. It's just really, it was great.
Welcome to Sonic Team. We make games, I think.
Hey Ray, what the fuck is a Sonic? And they're just like, he's over there coding the game, just like hitting keys, and the other guy's playing with the gun.
Yes.
Let's see if I got one more. I'll preview one more, and then oh yeah. Now I know you've seen the infamous box cutter video of Mike's.
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, you've never seen him like? Okay, all right. You're gonna like
Oh
this.
my goodness.
It's scary. But yeah, here you go. Nah, but seriously, that had to be a one-off, right? There's no way Mike has exhibited this behavior like this since then.
Wait.
All right. So there's some people out there saying, "Hey, Mike," and I gave him a warning.
This is already so
If you
cringy.
don't like me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute you. This cutter reminds me. I had one of these in my hand one time.
So?
Probably
Mm-hmm.
19 or 20 years old. And I was goofing around with a friend of mine. And I went like this to pretend like I was going to pet him. You know what he did? He goes, "Do it." You know what I did? I did it. Because that's just the kind of guy I am.
Hey, 1 second. Let me see if I can. Where's that thing? Here it is. Okay. All right. Now I feel a little bit safer. All right. Moving on. It's like, I think I need to defend myself now. But yeah, that's you needed the theme song for Robin Hood Men in Tights. I would have, but if you didn't hear, Wanger was already doing a superb rendition.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't feel the need to double the joke, you know. And I thought just because Xavier is the one that showed me the Manly Men. It's an edit from, I think it was a Skyrim edit or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's just perfect. I was like, that it fits so perfectly. I originally was going to have it like, it was going to be Doug and Edwin saying we are men, manly men, and then Mike going wow because he's a manlet. But
yeah.
I thought it was funny because it was Doug saying that they were manly men. So that'd be funny if he says wow. Once put together, it's going to get together. Like I said, I'm adding audio commentary to certain parts now. So pointing out the tweets, pointing out why that poll was such a cringy, dumb, stupid thing.
Yeah. One thing I would say, turn just as an editing tip.
Yeah.
Bring that music down just a smidge and your voice up just a smidge, and I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. I need to do some tweaks still, but it'll come together. Like I said, it should have been done already, but I hate traveling. Get Bob to do it in Edwin's voice. Oh God, Mike had an earworm today.
Oh my goodness! If I can pull it off, it's kind of hard because it's so fucking goofy.
Yeah. So
So I'm here to discuss why we ban certain words, okay, on the stream, okay, and it is fudge, okay, and backhole, okay. We don't talk about fudge, okay, because the only context about fudge that we want to talk about fudge, okay, is when we're packing it, okay? Only fudge packing. Okay. Also, we don't want to talk about backholes because we don't take backholes. We share backholes. Manly men, they don't take backholes. They share backholes. Okay?
Oh, jeez.
Me, Smiller, even Doug. Okay? But Smiller has a problem. Okay? He's such a short man. Okay?
He listens.
So
to
he needs a little stepladder to mount Doug, okay?
Oh God damn it!
It's the only way he'll be able to mount Doug. Okay? It's the only way he'll be able to share Doug's backhole.
Sheesh.
Okay.
Oh, who needs war campaign? Got Mike.
I don't even know what this guy sounds like, to be honest.
That's pretty accurate, in all honesty. Very does that a lot. Very I mean, I love it like now on war campaigns videos, like Rose got to the point he just speeds up anytime he's like doing an Edwin video. He just speeds Edwin up because it takes too long for him to get to the fucking point.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's what. Oh, one more thing before we go. To the person, Micah, that you said you were talking to today, and of the stuff that she said, how I want to nuke it all, and I don't believe you. And I will say this. don't think we don't know what you say behind the scenes. You're not this like you're not this nice little innocent person that you want to claim to be. I know some folks who have seen your private DMs, or actually your DM groups, and we know you're not that great of a person either. So don't try to like get on your high horse and pretend. So
yeah, a lot of that going around.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up for tonight because I'm fucking tired. Micah, thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Get to rant and rave as usual. So yeah, but guys, thank you. Brown, I'll talk to you about that later. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We might be around tomorrow night. We'll see how I feel. I don't know. I might just want to rest, but I'll let y'all know. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Smiller Step Stool, it is called the